For those of you who don't know, I'm Maggie, and today we have a Valentine's Day gift guide, which is something that I've never done before, but gift guides are some of my favorite videos that I put out because, I mean, honestly, my love language is gifts. So I like to receive gifts, I like to give gifts, and so that's why I like putting together these gift guides. Typically, we're talking about tangible items. So I have plenty from the holiday time that outlines gift guides for the traveler and the host and the hostess and mother-in-law and father-in-law. And so you can probably draw inspiration from those videos if you do want like tangible gifts to give somebody. But one thing that Brian and I do around Valentine's Day is focus more on experience gifts. So we don't ever really exchange gifts. Typically, we don't even go out and do anything. We just stay in, order takeout, watch a movie or something like that because we just went through Christmas. It was kind of expensive and that's just what we choose to do. But I feel like if there's one holiday where you're gonna forego a physical gift and give somebody more of an experience gift, Valentine's is the time to do that. There's no better way to show somebody you love them than spending time with them. While most of these gifts are experience gifts, I do present a couple of tangible items to go along with those experiences that you could gift and maybe do the experience at a later date if maybe you're long distance or something like that. The first suggestion that I have for you is for somebody who likes houseplants. Now, we've had a ton of success ordering from the Sill, which is like a houseplant website, and we love houseplants. We feel like they add a good pop of green color. They also do a really good job of like purifying your air, and we have tailored our search on that website for easy to care for plants because neither me nor Brian really have a green thumb. So don't be afraid to give this gift to people who don't have any houseplants or may be scared of that, because the experience piece that I think you should get to go along with it is one of their workshops. It's like right now the Sill is offering like how to care for your plants in the wintertime workshop, and they also offer one about repotting your plants as they grow and change and need to go into a new vessel. So that could be something that the two of you do together and you get a house plant out of it and you know how to take care of it so it's gonna last, and I just think that would be really fun. When I brought that up to Brian, he was like, we need to do that. The next idea is candles and candle pouring specifically. So you would be making your own candle. And Patty Wax, a very popular candle company, offers virtual classes, and you can get a kit shipped to your house and you can like create your own scent and pour your own candle. So then both of you would end up with a candle after the workshop is over. But when I brought up this idea to Brian, I was like, is that lame? Like, would that be something that you like to do? And he was like, yeah, I would really love that, because Brian loves candles. And he was like, it's 2022. Haven't guys stopped pretending they don't like candles yet? You can get really masculine scents, or you could get a really feminine scent, or you could get something somewhere in the middle to where both of you would enjoy the candles that you made. And again, it's an experience that you did together and you have this little takeaway. Another option, I'm gonna kind of breeze through because I've definitely talked about this many a time on this channel and we've only had it for like a month. One of the things that Brian got me for Christmas was the Blue Bottle Discovery Set. And what this came with was a booklet that teaches you all about pour over. It comes with a little carafe that you actually drip your coffee into. It comes with the coffee dripper itself. It comes with some filters and a bag of coffee, but the experience piece of that is a virtual class. And it's on demand, so you can start it and you can stop it at any time and go revisit it to learn the technique. But they give you a ton of detailed information in that class. They teach you the proper way to actually pour the water, and they explain why the temperature is the way that it is. I mean, it is so detailed. So if you and your significant other are both coffee lovers, this could be something that is really fun for you to experience together. With the pour over method, I will say, there are some other investments that you could make. So you could get the Fellow electric kettle is what we have, but there are other less expensive electric kettles that you could get on Amazon or something to go along with it. And you definitely need some sort of food scale. Look into it. Maybe that's something you can discover together. You don't have to buy all the pieces and parts at once. That was a really fun, kind of different experience that we had never done before, and we really, really enjoyed it. Another option comes from AirBnB Experiences, and they have a ton of different options, but the two that stuck out to me are two that we're thinking about doing with a group of friends on Valentine's Day, which I think will be so fun. So one option that seemed so unique was you cook with a grandma is what it's called, and it's with an older lady from Italy who teaches you how to make pasta. So you end up with this really good Italian dinner at the end, and how cool is that she is like in your kitchen teaching you how to cook. But another option that we were looking into, if we can't get everybody on the same schedule to do the pasta class, would be to do some sort of cocktail making lesson. And so you can pick it by your liquor. So the one that we were looking at was a tequila and mezcal class, and they teach you how to make 3 3 different cocktails, so you sort of have like a tasting and making experience all in one. It could just be the 2 of you, or you could do that with other people. So that's why it's going to be our fallback if we can't get things to work out with our friends. We were only looking at virtual options for us, but they do have a lot of in-person Airbnb experiences too that you may have in a really exciting city if you live in one. Or maybe you just moved to a new city and you want a tour, or you just want to be a tourist in your city or something. That could be another way to use Airbnb experiences. While we're kind of talking about cocktails, if maybe you're tired of Zoom, you work on that all the time at work, and you just want to leave that behind and just have an experience with your significant other on Valentine's Day, I would suggest putting together your own sort of cocktail kit. Pick up a pair of some specialty glasses that you can both drink out of. I think these came from Home Goods, but they're beautiful. They have little like gold rims on the top, they have gold on the bottom, something that's a little bit unique that would look really cute displayed. So you could get a pair of glasses, and then maybe some sort of fun cocktail book. Now, I have talked on and on about the Defined Dish, the Comfortable Kitchen cookbook that she recently came out with, and she has an entire cocktail chapter that we've really been loving. But if you want something that is just cocktails and not a cocktail plus cookbook, then I would recommend this one. If you are big travelers or something, these are cocktails from all over the world. And so maybe you have a trip coming up, you could make a cocktail from like the country where you're planning to visit. It's really pretty. Like this could also serve as like a coffee table book. So this is just a really unique cocktail book that allows you to taste flavors from all over the world. So Brian actually had a really good suggestion, and he said if you do pick up some sort of cocktail book, you likely are going to want to make one of those cocktails that day that you give them the gift. So go ahead, thumb through the book, pick out a recipe, and then go buy the ingredients for it so that you can, set to work actually doing the experience piece of things immediately. Because these are from all over the world. Sometimes there are very unique ingredients that are hard to find. So being sure that you're not waiting until the last minute and then just trying to run to your local grocery store, it might not have everything you need. But we love this little book, and I think that would just be a really fun, unique gift. If you plan to stay home and maybe you really don't want to plan anything big, you just want a relaxing night in because you're exhausted, I would suggest getting like a pair of like matching sweatpants. So for instance, Brian and I both have a set of joggers from Outdoor Voices. His are in gray, mine are in blue. And then you could also maybe splurge on that streaming service that you've been putting off. Like if you have heard everybody talking about Ted Lasso and you haven't gotten Apple TV yet, maybe go ahead and subscribe. That's something that you can enjoy together throughout the entire year because Apple TV has so many good shows on it. It's just a good experience gift. It's not super expensive. So maybe pick up a bottle of wine, order some dinner in, and then both of you can snuggle in your comfy little pajama pants while watching your new subscription service. But maybe you want a more in-person experience that's really fun, a cooking class. So I know we talked about cooking with the grandma online, but that's when you're at home. You probably need to go buy all of the ingredients ahead of time. You're then probably gonna have to do dishes, and that doesn't always appeal to everybody. So if you would like for somebody else to take care of the dishes and buying the ingredients and measuring things out, look into local cooking classes near you. Like I know that we have a grocery store in Texas called Central Market, and they offer cooking class experiences. They probably have these all over. So look into an in-person cooking class. You can have a fancy meal that you cook together. Those are always a ton of fun and usually come with a lot of wine. Another thing that you could do is to plan a staycation or maybe some sort of weekend getaway. And the key here, Brian was like, make sure that you tell them that the whole thing needs to be planned. It can't just be an idea that you're presenting. I know right now like big travel plans can be a little bit uncertain and you may have to cancel things just with the way that the world is right now. So booking a stay at maybe a local hotel and just going to eat at new restaurants that you've never experienced before could make it feel like you're traveling and having this new experience when really you're just a few steps away from home. So it doesn't have to be anything outrageously expensive. It doesn't have to be anything super innovative. It's just breaking your routine and feeling like you're doing something fancy when really it's just, a local little getaway. Another idea that is tangible, this is not an experience, but I'm throwing this in here because it helps you relive an experience, if you will. So typically, if you're married, you probably spent money on wedding photos, and you can truly only have so many photos of your wedding framed in your house, and you don't want them to just live on in perpetuity on some hard drive somewhere. So what we opted to do was create our own little photo book that I made look like a coffee table book. So I took all of our pictures from our wedding and created my own little customized photo book. So maybe you got married this year or last year, or maybe you just had a family photo shoot done, or maybe every single year you get photos made for your Christmas cards and you want to put them all into one book. Consider making one of these customized books. I think that is a really fun idea and helps you kind of relive things, but then it's also a great, beautiful book to display that other people can look at when they come over to your house. These can be really expensive though, so definitely compare prices across different websites. We have only used chapbooks, and they have expanded their product range, so you can get some that lie completely flat. You can get them hardcover, soft cover, different sizes, but Artifact Uprising also has what I think are like, they look a lot more high quality, but they are like 3 to 4 times the price of chapbooks. So you can make chapbooks look really nice. Just FYI, I think that's definitely the more moderate price point. But if you're wanting to splurge a little bit, maybe it is your wedding photos or something, consider Artifact Uprising, because they even have like really thick pages that lie flat, and it's very, very fancy. Another thing that we love to do is go to the movies. And I had originally put down like, get them a movie theater gift card to your favorite movie theater, and maybe you could go see multiple movies. So you've already put the money into that, so it's like forcing you to go on multiple dates. So our favorite movie theater locally is called Alamo Drafthouse, and it's like dinner and a movie, so it is truly like a full date night experience. But if you don't have that near you, maybe you make reservations and you go to like a casual dinner early, and then you go catch whatever movie you want to see in theaters afterwards. Going to the movies is so fun. It's something that we missed a ton when the world was virtually not operating, and so I always get excited if the plan is to go to the movies. The last two are more personalized gifts. So one option is to use Framebridge. We have used this website so many different times to frame pieces that we love, that we know we're not going to want to, repurpose or change out later. So for instance, we have one huge print in our living room of a picture that our friend took on our trip to Croatia together. And then we have another print that's framed from our honeymoon in Hawaii, another picture that we took. One thing to keep in mind is that they are custom framed prints. So it's not something that you can just like easily change the photo out later if you change your mind and it doesn't mean a lot to you. So be choosy when you're using Framebridge, but they can also frame much more than just, like prints of things or actual photos that were taken. They frame everything, like license plates and medals, and you name it, they can frame it. So if there is something that means a lot to y'all that you want framed, consider sending it off to Framebridge and getting that sent back, because that would be completely personalized, a very meaningful gift that you'll have for years to come. Another personalized gift idea is not, like a picture of you. It's not that kind of personalized. It's thinking about a shared experience that you had. Maybe it's a place that you traveled, or maybe it's your first dance song from your wedding, and looking for real art that already exists that has to do with those things. So for instance, Brian is a really big San Antonio Spurs fan. I got some advertisement one day for these kind of like minimalist prints that just so happened to have a San Antonio Spurs version. So I ended up getting him that as part of his Christmas present, but it's his style. He just likes things really minimalistic. He's kind of like a mid-century modern guy, and it's from a company called Sand Grain Studio, and they have a ton of different options. So they have sports teams, they have movies, they have TV shows. So if maybe y'all have a favorite show or a favorite movie or a favorite band, they also offer those. Look at Etsy at all of these different poster styles and pick something out that matches your home and that means something to you. So while it's not, custom made for that person, it's still personalized for an experience that you share together. And that is it. Those are all of my experience suggestions for this year's Valentine's Day. If you're looking for some of the tangible items that I mentioned, I'll be sure to have everything linked down below, including links to those specific classes that I mentioned that I found on Airbnb. I would definitely recommend booking things early. Things fill up, things get more expensive closer to time. So if you're, right now in the planning phases, go ahead and try to reserve those spots if that's what you're looking to do. But remember that always a chill night in or subscribing to a subscription service doesn't have any sort of deadline. So if maybe you're seeing this really last minute, maybe you're gonna wanna lean towards that option. Anyway, if you liked this video, then like it. Stick around, subscribe, join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.